Hey folks, Lester here. I'm showing off my new shirt. Sheesh, I'm trying to make a video here. Which I never had to say in today's video, darn it. However, today, lots of things happen in this video. It starts off with a little donkey pasture change, which always has a little drama. Maggie helped a whole lot in getting some goats that had gotten out back into their pastures. I walked you down and show you Sister Kim's pasture and that new pond that we had dug. But there's a problem, and we have to talk about that a little bit. Now, I guess if I can just get right to the nitty-gritty, we also talk a little bit about sex. Oh, man, I know. Some of y'all are like, whoa, Lester's going to talk about sex. Y'all get ready. Y'all grabbing your popcorn, and you just can't wait for this. And there's others of you who are going to say, nah, this is not my kind of video. You girls do your thing. You guys go on with it, but I'm not. We talk about the differences between Southern folks and some of our expressions that we use and the way the world sees some of our expressions and how we're judged by some of the things that we do and the ways that we act. We talk a little bit about the differences between men and women. And this has nothing to do with demographics. This is just to do with men are from Venus. No, men are from Mars. Where are men from again? But we talk about that a little bit. And so yeah, it's an interesting video. It's lengthy, so I get it. If you got to go to work, go do your thing. And if you have time to watch, we appreciate it, and we admire you for it. It's hot and humid here in Texas. I hope that you're more comfortable and cool wherever you're at. This is not sweat, folks, from working. This is just me sitting here in the shade, and this stuff just pours off of you. So feel blessed if you're in the AC, and just know that I'm going to be going there myself real soon. I got a video. Hey folks, Lester here, and this morning I'm making a pasture transition. Not long term, but I'm going to tell you what's going on. So our donkeys have been up here in the front with Sister Kim and her goats and her little lamb. Guys, y'all shouldn't be following me. Sometimes they can put themselves in very dangerous situations, and they just like to be with daddy, you know. But no, so I have our donkeys here in the front pasture up behind Sister Kim's house. We had that new pond dug recently, but with all the work the tractor's done, he's covered up a lot of the grass. And so to make them a little bit more comfortable and have them more grass and stuff to eat, I'm going to put them out back with the horses and the cows. So that's what I'm doing now. Let me flip my camera around. All right, so I'm hoping that everyone will follow me. Sometimes donkeys can be, well, you know the expression, total jackasses when it comes to stuff like this. I have a whole lot of snacks. These are those things that we were gifted here. They're called nay nibblers. And man, these guys love them. Come on, let's go. Everyone follow me and I'll give you some nay nibblers. So Kim's little goat got out with me. He's so small though. Bilbo, no, what's his name? Frodo. Frodo just kind of goes wherever he wants to. Now he's no longer intact, so I don't worry about him getting out and doing anything naughty with any of my goats. Come on, babies, I want all these four to follow me. Come on, Danny. And we're gonna all go into the horse pasture where they will have access to lots of green grass. No, so I was telling you guys recently that little pasture there is about 5 acres. But man, they did all that work, dirt work, and they excavated the pond, and it's just made it to where there's not a whole lot of grass to eat now. And then, okay, so to make matters worse, even though this is a good problem, we've got quite a bit of rain. We've had an afternoon shower the last couple of days. Rain is actually good, except for it's made all the ground out there where he's done all the dirt work muddy and sloshy. Come on. Yeah, come on, Danny. It's made the ground dirty and sloshy. It's hard to walk on for the donkey, so they've kind of been contained to one small section of the pasture. All right, here we go. They have not been inside of here in about a month, so they should be excited. Come on, babies. All right, so I've lost 2 donkeys in this process. I have one here with me. Here, look. They can eat these right off the ground, folks. Here, Danny. Come on, Ivy. So I'll give a few to them. Hopefully, okay, here comes Beverly. And Imogene. I got the whole crew. All right. Okay, so let me flip the camera back around now. All right, so now these guys are in here. And in this pasture, they have access to all kinds of shade. So not to worry about that. They have access to lots of water. Not only do we keep the water trough with an automatic water filler, but they also have 2 big ponds and a river they can always go down to. You guys have been with us a number of times as we've driven down. Now what I have to do now is let Gracie out. Guys, Santana has she's done her 2 weeks, all right? Santana has spent 2 weeks in here with Tex, so I've let her out also. Come on, Gracie. However, Gracie was napping when I let Santana out. And now Gracie wants to be a hardhead and not... Mom's waiting for you down there. Let's go. So Mom's over at the corner screaming for her. Mom and Pearl are over there screaming for... Gracie! Go out of the gate, baby. Don't follow Danny. Dan's just being a typical hardhead, which is what donkeys do. Oh, he's pretty though. Isn't he pretty? Dan's a pretty boy. Gracie, you have to leave the pasture, baby. I have that gate open right behind you. So calves, if you don't already know this, they're not real smart when it comes to being herded. Hopefully, no, you know, look at Dan. Look what Dan did. Dan showed him the way. No, Dan, if you were doing so good till you started screaming. All right, Dan was doing so good, showing Gracie the way, explaining how you find the open gate and you walk out it. And if Dan didn't start screaming, and then Gracie just freaked out. Come on, baby. Go back towards the open gate. We're walking towards the open gate. Maggie, you should love over there, baby. Come on, Gracie. So what I want to have happen is I want Gracie to go to the open gate, but not Tex. Gracie, I know the donkeys are freaking her out. Right now, see, this is a little bit difficult. Dang it, Gracie. Okay. All right, well then, you know what? Gracie's going to be stuck in there with Tex for a few hours. Once she gets hungry and Mom begins to feel the discomfort of a full milk bag, Mom will come back up. And at that point, hopefully Gracie will walk right back through the open gate to Mom. But for now, Gracie and Tex are going to find themselves hanging out together. Daddy's daycare, if you will. Yeah, real daddy's daycare. And Tex is just worried, guys. Look at him. He will not take his eyes off his old lady. I don't say that in a disrespectful way. A lot of us down south, we refer to our better halves, our significant others, our wives, as the old lady. Old as in O-L, not old. My old lady. Man, people, when you were sometimes culturally or demographically, I'm not sure the way you say it, a lot of folks don't understand, and they take things that we say down south as a disrespect, even though here down in the south, people don't see it that way at all, because a woman down south is just as quick to refer to her husband as her old man. Guys, it's even in Spanish, listen to me, y'all, even in Spanish, this is funny. The Spanish who live down south will refer to their significant other as their vieja or their viejo. It's not a form of disrespect. And I've made that expression before. I says, let me talk to the old lady. And oh my God, people start freaking out on me. You know something else that we do? I know in the world that we live in, man, with the Me Too movement and a lot of things, and I get it, y'all. There are some things that might have been... Maggie, we're leaving, babe. Come on. You know, it is not uncommon for a fella to go into... Oh, Bilbo... Frodo! You leave them goats alone. Hold on, guys. This is going to be a real simple task. And it's turned into, yeah, this was supposed to be a really simple task, and it's turned into anything but. Frodo, I love the fact that Chippy is trying to protect the ladies. Look at that. Hey, we're not doing this. We are not doing this fight. You're gonna come back with me, and I'm gonna walk you right back to your pasture. Now, guys, don't follow him. Not you, Lola. Oh, boy. Okay, I'm just gonna let him go. Now he's gonna try to fight with her. Maggie, come on, help me, Maggie. Look at Maggie, she's so good. Good girl, Maggie, come on, bring him. Come on, Maggie, bring the goat. So, come on, Frodo. I didn't call all of you. I didn't bring snacks for anybody. I want Frodo to follow me. Thank you, Maggie. Come on, Frodo. Maggie will bring Frodo, and I'll put Frodo back in the pasture where he belongs. The only problem is Frodo won't always stay. He's a little goat. He's one of those little dwarf goats, so he can walk himself right out whenever he wants to. Come on, Frodo. Here we go. Good boy. Frodo, come on in. Come on in, buddy. Come on, Frodo. Don't do that. Don't do that. There you go. Now you're in. Now, like I said, he doesn't have to stay in. He's small enough to climb himself out whenever he wants to. All right, so here's what I was telling you was the problem. You can see that this is a nice big pasture. It extends all the way to the far fence line over there. Comes all the way down to here. Look at all of this shade. And of course it goes all the way. You can see all the nice grass over there. Normally when this thing is full of grass, it provides everything, guys. You got shade. You have foliage from these trees. You have just beautiful, thick green grass. Because it's so shady, it gets just enough sunlight to where grass grows. It's low. The elevation here is a little bit lower, so water, so when it rains, will stand a little bit, which just makes the grass grow even that much better. But what we've done is had a tractor guy come in and work on this little pond. Let me walk over there with you. It's a little bit muddy, so I'm watching my step. My poor Crocs are just taking a beat down. This is funny. I'm gonna show y'all something funny. People that wear Crocs here in the South, here's something else that we do. All right, guys, I'm going through a little mud. It's time to put these Crocs in four-wheel drive. Guys, this is funny. Now we've just improved the traction control on our Crocs. Most folks will never put that little thing in the back. But guess what? Now we're in four-wheel drive mode. Now my Crocs aren't gonna slip off me. All right, let's look at this little pond. I'm calling this Kim's Pond, even though it's gonna be used by a whole lot more than just Sister Kim. So Kim has 3 baby animals. She, besides her dog, she has Frodo, Bilbo, which is just the craziest names. I don't know where Kim gets her names from. I think Lord of the Rings or something. Frodo, Bilbo, and then she has a little lamb who I've actually not even met yet. You guys that Sister Kim has probably posted pictures on her own Facebook page. She has yet to open a YouTube account, which I keep getting onto her because a lot of folks would like to hear more of Kim's story. Anyway, we got this pond dug, which will eventually fill. It takes time, just like ours took a while. What we need is a good several days of rain. We've gotten a couple of inches, and it's put a nice little sealing layer of water on the pond, but it's going to take some time to fill it up. Eventually, this will all turn back into grass all around it. Eventually. But for right now, we're not getting a whole lot of grass here. The guy with the excavations used all the dirt. He bermed up that side nice and high. So if we do get another flood, like a tropical storm Imelda, or God forbid a tropical Hurricane Harvey, at least the babies have a better fighting chance to live by finding themselves on top of a berm when everything else floods around them. So the ponds will retain and detain some water, but they're going to rely on those berms to actually make it to higher ground. I hate when I do that accidentally. I say things twice, and that just gives that word a lot more significance. Did y'all hear what I said? Higher ground, higher ground. There's Bilbo right there. Frodo. Yeah, he's now listen, this gets me about Frodo. He's been nipped and cut, okay? But he still tries to pretend like he's a little macho guy. And he's over there right now flirting with one of Big Boy's nannies. The same way he was over there flirting with my nannies. And anywho, I think that they show off. They just want to show off. It's that little man syndrome. I'm pretty sure it's that little man syndrome. Looky here. Hey, Newt. Hey, Trudy. Oh, I love them. But so what I was saying was, and I'll write in this video, we only have a little bit of good grass growing over here. That's not enough to sustain 4 donkeys. Kim has a little bit of grass growing alongside the fence line here. And then we do have about half an acre that belongs to Stephanie, where she used to run her goats over there. Now that grass is pretty good, but it's actually gotten too tall. Yeah, can you believe that? The grass is actually too tall for the animals to eat and enjoy. It makes it hard on them. We also know that when grass gets that tall, it needs to be cut because it can end up having lots of parasites that live in it and can get over into your animals, and that's a no-no. Kim keeps her part nice and groomed and manicured. And so until we get more grass growing along through here, which hopefully will be this summer, I'm gonna go ahead and keep the donkeys over on my side, back with our bigs. And that will guarantee them plenty of grass and then plenty of water, fresh water, along with the couple of ponds that we got and the river. Hey, so in case you're wondering, what you might say, Lester, how did you know? Lester, how did you know that you didn't have enough grass and your donkeys were hungry? Well, that's simple. The donkeys begin to stand over here in the corner most of the day. They would stand over here. Now, guys, you got to learn to read your animals. You have to learn to read your animals and your behavior. You guys know you can read your partner, right? Anybody who's been in a relationship for a while, well, heck, with your kids, you can read your kids. They don't have to say anything. But when you know somebody well enough, you read their behavior. And so a lot of times they say things without ever saying anything. And so what I noticed was the guy come and dug the pond about a week or so ago. And since then it's rained a couple of times, I thought everything was fine. I noticed the donkeys eating a little bit over here, but they were not spending much time in the big pasture with all the grass. They begin to hang out over here in this corner, watching us over there. And so I told Jamie, I think that they're hungry. And so sure enough, I walk over and look at the grass, and it's just too high and too thick. It needs to be mowed down. But at this point, we've waited too long to use a lawn mower. It's going to require the brush hog. And I haven't had a chance to do that yet. Well, you know, worse than that, there's not even a gate big enough to get my brush hog in there. We only have small gates in that pasture. And so we're going to be at a little bit of a problem. Now, as far as Sister Kim's goats go, you don't have to worry about them. They're not as much grass eaters. They love to eat all that shrubbery along the fence. And they have an entire front yard that they also go into. Kim has a system built over here in her little shelter. It's kind of like a doggy door, but where only the goats can get out of this pasture and go into her yard, which is also fenced in. And that way the goats can go back and forth, the donkeys can't. Pretty neat little system Kim has set up there. Okay, I have rambled on long enough. So just to summarize this video, us folks in the South have our very own words and expressions that we use that folks in the South don't take to be offensive. I'm going to say that again. A lot of folks in different parts of the world or the country have expressions that they use that people that are familiar with those expressions don't take to be offensive. People that are not familiar with those expressions could find offense. And so a lot of times when I share things on social media and the reach is such that people who are not familiar with those terms, I'm just going to stop talking for a couple of minutes here. They'll finally get bored and leave. Hey, you guys! You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and walk away. Hey, Newt! Hi, little buddy! Hey, Trudies! Yeah, so, just know that I don't mean any disrespect to anybody who doesn't understand our way of speaking down here. You know, I guess I'll tie this into it. You've heard people, maybe you can make your jokes about your rednecks or your hillbillies or your, but a Southern gentleman, y'all, is still the kind of guy that does things for ladies. And even though the ladies may be getting tired of it in other parts of the country, a Southern lady still admires and respects a man that's going to hold the door open for her when you go into a restaurant. A guy who's going to walk around and open her door whenever you about to get into your vehicle and go someplace. A guy that can refer to his woman as sweetheart, honey, love, doll, sugar. Man, you just name it. There's a whole lot of expressions. Babe, baby. And so listen to me. A man does not do that to show any kind of disrespect. As a matter of fact, what we're doing over here is putting that person on a pedestal. Not that you can't open your own door, because of course you can open your own door. You're not, you're not unable to open your own door. But if you allow me to open the door for you, what I'm trying to do is show you that I do have a value. I value you, and I want to treat you as royalty. When I offer to pay the bill at a restaurant, it's not that I'm saying you have no money. You're a woman. You don't make any money. What I'm trying to say is I want you to keep your money for something that you want. I want you to keep your money and buy yourself a purse, or buy yourself some nails, or buy something for your kids, or buy something. You would do whatever. Save your money. Let me spend my money and buy you this meal. And so many folks this day and age, they take it wrong. They take it to be a sign of disrespect. And I admire women for standing up and for the different movements, and I will say that yes. Hey, this page is followed by 85% women, so there's no way I'd be saying anything to be disrespectful to all of you women out there. But if we can be open and fair and honest and transparent, as the word that I'm learning, then a lot of things that you take as disrespectful are not meant to be that way. It's not meant to be that way. I'm going to leave y'all with one last thing that I've talked about 100 times. Two guys cross in the road. Let me go this way. Hold on. I'm going to draw something for you here. Y'all bear with me for a second. I'm going to do it here in the shade, so as I don't. Oh, wait, that's backwards. Okay. So there's a guy coming from that way, and I'm coming from this way. And we both stop right here, and we look down. And we notice something right there on the ground. Maggie, I'm trying to notice. So I'm saying, whoa, that's obviously a 9. But wait a minute. The guy over here sits and sees that same thing on the ground, and he goes, well, duh, it's a 6. And so from this perspective, my friends, what he sees is very accurate. It is a 6. Yet from this perspective, what he sees is actually a 9. And so these two guys could argue back and forth all day, but in actuality, they're both right. They're both correct. It just depends on their perspective. So that's the same thing, guys, with so many of the issues that we deal with on a daily basis in society, in news, politics, religion. It's just your perspective that defines how you feel about certain things. So you can't get on to somebody and decide to ban them, or what do they call that? Cancel culture them, because they see things from a different perspective. Hey, sweet girl, is how I would refer to Maggie. I know she has a name. Her name is Maggie. The same thing if I see Jamie on the girls, I'll say, hey babe, I know she has a name, it's Jamie. But the thing is, there's certain people that are okay with putting pet names, just as there's people that actually think pet names are cute. When I say pet names, I don't mean pet like animals. You're not referring to your partner. I can go there too. I can go there too. Y'all want to talk about sex? Do y'all want to talk about sex? I can't go there. I can't go there, but would you think about this for a minute? Now, this has nothing to do, I don't think, with a culture or a demographic or part of the country where you live, but it's just to do with a man's sexual preferences. Let's just keep it all heterosexual for here. But you know that there are certain women that find certain things a man likes to do in the bedroom as distasteful and disrespectful. And so you don't judge that person and think that they're weird, or they can't call you weird. It's just different strokes for different folks. Jamie joked one time, you know, Jamie and I both met later in life, and she said one time that it takes at least 3 dates to get to know a guy's true colors, as far as, you know, the things that guys are really into, what their turn-ons, their kinks, their hang-ups, or, you know, whatever. Because, you know, that first date, you don't really, I mean, every guy and every girl's putting their best foot forward, as they say. And then that second date, you're also still not sure. You're kind of, you know, you're getting to know each other. You're trying to fill out each other. But usually by that third date, people, at least in this day and age, are comfortable enough to kind of start showing you a little bit more of who they are. Because at this point, you don't want to feel like you're wasting your time on someone that's not going to be able to gel with you if you have a different chemistry, if you don't fit, you know, you don't fit each other's puzzle piece, right? And Jamie and I, and this is true, even as a guy, when she told me that, I kind of like, I think that you're right. It does take about 3 dates, 3 serious, like 3 real dates. I don't mean 3 talks on the phone or 3 text messages, but 3 real dates to know who your significant other is, like really is. And so sometimes it ends up not working out after you've been out multiple times. Well, all that means is that because you get to learn that person's true colors, their real identity, the part they didn't show you on the first date, the part they didn't show you on the second date. But usually by the third date, you start seeing and, you know, learning more things about somebody. Man, I don't know. This video has been all over the place. I'm going to have to go ahead of time. Whenever I have a long video, I'm going to have to go up in the beginning and preface this video and tell you what the video is going to be about. If I don't, folks freak out because they feel like they've wasted a whole lot of time for nothing. And we try not to do that here. I know you got to work. Oh, anyway, so just remember, Southern gentlemen, y'all, it's actually a good thing. And if you've never were able to date a guy from the South, I hope that your guy from up north or from your guy from any part of the world also has ways of showing his chivalrous side, his gentleman side, and letting you know that he loves and adores you in maybe his own way, a traditional sense. There's so many love languages and so many ways a person can show affection to another person. And sometimes it can be as subtle as a nickname, a pet name, if you will. All right, I'm going to go in there now and get me a drink and tell my old lady, that I love her. Y'all have a great day.